Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for your patience. My name is Christina Gothier. I am the Public Relations Coordinator for PARA's Albuquerque office. We appreciate you joining us as we recap our 75th anniversary celebration of PARA being the best thing to come out of New Mexico besides red and green chili. We are going to go ahead and kick off today's presentation with a brief introduction of staff. And so I know we have our Executive Director, Greg Trujillo, with us today, my Bureau Chief, Cristina Perea, our Deputy Director, Anna Williams, is also on with us today, and we are trying to get her switched over to the panelist side so that she has the opportunity to join us in this space. And so we will give Greg and hopefully Anna a chance to speak with you all here in just a moment. I am going to go ahead and kick off with a few slides. For those of you who are unaware, PARA was actually created during the 1947 legislative session as the state's retirement plan. Since then, we've grown to cover over 31 different plans, and we provide benefits to tens of thousands of New Mexicans who have chosen public service as their career. And so we are very excited to share with you some of the things that we've covered this year. There is a copy of the lovely bill that you see here in this snip available on PARA's anniversary website. And so you are invited to go take a look if you have not already. In 1947, our leadership consisted of our board chair, Robert Ormsby. He served on the board from 1947 to 1949. As our executive director during that tenure was Epiminio Ramirez. He served from 1947 to 1953. And so on our anniversary website, we have pictures of some of our previous board members as well, so you can see those changes throughout PARA's history. As I mentioned earlier, our leadership includes Greg Trujillo, who is our current executive director, and Anna Williams, who is our current deputy director. I'm not entirely sure if our board chair, Claudia Armijo, will be able to join us today, but I would like to give both Anna and Greg an opportunity to say something as we wrap up this year's anniversary celebration.
Sure. Thank you, Christina. I just want to thank all the members for taking their time to join the seminars this year. I think Cristina Perea, Cristina Gauthier, Jose Trujillo, and now Natalie Padilla have done a great job putting these on. Like the Zoom format, we've gotten a lot of participation, much more than in person. So there is one positive to being in a Zoom world. And yeah, other than thanking them, I'd like to thank all of PARA's staff for an excellent job they've done through COVID, through remote work, still serving our members, and very happy to have them all on board and looking forward to working with them in the future. And thanks to all the members. We take a nice chunk of your paycheck every pay period, and I hope you guys have the confidence in us that we're doing right by you. We're putting those funds to work. We're going to make sure that you live a nice life after you retire. And that's all I really got to say. But thank you to everybody.
Thank you, Greg. Miss Anna, you are up. I'm hoping your technical difficulties have been resolved. I will try to troubleshoot from here if not.
Thank you, Christina. I don't think I have video, but I do have, it looks like, sound. So thank you, Christina. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. I'm excited that PARA has been able to celebrate 75 years and provide a lifetime benefit for so many individuals. Thank you to our outreach team. They've done a great job of putting together these 75th seminars. We've had some interesting topics and we've all learned a lot, I think, about PARA, about our history, and about some New Mexico history. Thank you to our staff at Para. They've done a great job at keeping everybody going through the pandemic. They've done a great job of serving our members. And then thank you to all our members. We appreciate you, and allows us to provide for our families. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Greg and Anna. We truly appreciate the kind words. This has been a really wonderful year of delving into Para's history and celebrating the wonderful things that Para has brought to New Mexico. Right now, I am going to turn the floor over to our Outreach Bureau Chief, the lovely Miss Cristina Perea. She is going to carry us through the remainder of today's presentation. Ms. Perea, the floor is yours.
Great. Thank you so much. I apologize for the technical difficulties this morning. I think it's a sign that maybe we just need to all take Friday off. So just to kind of dive into more about what we learned during the 75th anniversary that we thought you might find interesting as well. Over the years, we have had the privilege of looking through all of our handbooks, all of our popular annual financial reports. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard for us to find anything prior to the 1980s as far as historical knowledge. But thankfully, within these handbooks, we were able to find a lot of good just information about where we were over the years. And so from our research, we found that in June of 1955, at the time, Para had 217 benefit recipients, averaging about $1,161 per year per annuitant. So as you can see that we're going to go over here shortly, it definitely has grown over time. In June of 1960, we had 593 benefit recipients with an average payroll of $717,200, averaging $1,209 per annuitant. In the 80s, you're looking at the late 80s, there were, and as you can see, the data kind of, that's as much information as we can get as we go forward. At that time in 1989, we had 34,000 active members and 9,779 benefit recipients. You'll see the payroll growing. It went up to the 85,000 range, averaging $8,730 per annuitant. As we go further in the 90s, late 90s, there were almost 53,000 active members and 13,639 benefit recipients. The payroll at that time was $165 million, $563,820, averaging about $1,112 per month per recipient. And then, thankful to our investment team as well as our board for overseeing and all of our staff overseeing our plan over the years. Today, we're excited to share that we have almost 47,000 active members and a little over 44,000 benefit recipients with an average payroll, and this is huge, $1,387,986,188, averaging $30,905 in an annual benefit per recipient. So as Christina said, this is something that New Mexico has done right for 75 years, is offer this rich benefit plan to all of our members and retirees here in New Mexico. So hopefully it makes you proud. Like Greg said, it's our job to make sure that all of us, today and all of our future children, grandchildren have this lifetime benefit to look forward to. So we're very invested in making sure that these numbers keep growing for another 75 years. Next slide. To kind of even dive in a little bit deeper on what it was like in 1947 when Para was first established, members had to pay 3.5% of their regular salary in contributions. So it's a little bit different. Like Greg mentioned, we're taking a bigger chunk of your change that goes towards your retirement. But as you can imagine, I'm sure 3.5% was still even a large contribution rate in 1947. Next. As far as retirement eligibility, in 1947, you had to be an employee for at least 15 years. And when you turned 65 years old, or if you had to be an employee for 5 years or more, and you turned 70 years old, you were eligible to retire at that time. So here at Para today, we definitely have different retirement eligibility requirements, 2 different tiers. We have 31 different plans. And so I know Christina says this all the time in our seminars when we travel throughout the state, or if we're virtual, when members ask, well, when can I retire, or how much am I going to get monthly in retirement? And the number one answer that Christina and I in outreach always give is it just depends. But the retirement eligibility requirements were very different back in 1947. Next. In 1947 as well, members received 1.5% times the average salary for the last 5 years. And then that was multiplied by the number of years. And so it's very different today based on your tier status. Like I said, there are different retirement eligibility requirements. No member is the same, so it's always going to be different in Para today for members. As far as retirement in 1947, the annuity could not exceed the sum of $150 per month. So that was equivalent to about $1,800 today. So very different from getting $150 to $1,800 today per month. Next. So over the years as well, we always hear of these notorious logos. And so we did our research as well and found our logos over time. So as you can see in front of you, we had our Zia symbol. We also had our yucca plant. And now we have our nest egg logo, not only for our regular Para plan, but also for our Smart Save Deferred Compensation plan. So the branding definitely has changed. So we thought this was kind of cool to show you all today. Next slide. What we did this year as far as our 75th anniversary series is every month we did have a monthly seminar based off of a topic. And this was a very successful series for Para and for members. We had the opportunity to sit down and speak with Para employees, with Para retirees. We also got to talk with active members who are actively, within their community, in their divisions, working hard for all of New Mexicans. We did a Women in Leadership seminar where we got to talk with several cabinet secretaries, county treasurers throughout New Mexico. Our own deputy director, Anna Williams, we got to speak with her. We also offered a retirement series, 3-part series within the month of September. And we were very excited to share that we were able to reach over 1,000 members just alone with those 3 seminars. And so going forward, we're definitely shifting the way that we offer our education to our members. And so next year, we're continuing the same topics that are popular among members, retired members, and just, retirement related that we think members and retirees might find helpful. So we definitely are excited for the new year to be sharing the same topics that we think that members are definitely going to benefit from. Next, please. It's very interesting, and I thought about it this morning. It's kind of ironic. So if you didn't know, just a little bit of history for you. In 1947 is when the infamous flying saucer was supposedly found in Roswell. And ironically, we were actually there last week providing some seminar and outreach events to some Department of Health employees as well, to employees at Chavez County. And so, thinking of it today, it's quite interesting to see how we've come full circle in, this flying saucer being found, and then to us being able to meet members in Roswell and talk to them and educate them. And so this is something we're definitely looking forward to next year, is going around throughout the state, and meeting with people again in person and just kind of making sure that your retirements are accurate and that everything looks good going forward, because we definitely want to make sure that we are taking care of you as members. And so we're going to be posting our 2023 schedule as soon as hopefully prior to January 1st. So we hope that all of you can join us and meet us, and we would love to meet you. So we're definitely looking forward to that again. Next slide, please. With that being said, we created a 75th anniversary website just to kind of get, that excitement going around. You don't see very many retirement plans in the country that have reached this huge milestone. And so again, just as a reminder, we have this wonderful website for you to get on and just, learn a little bit more about para history. Going forward out of the 75th anniversary and just, this year in general, we're going to be creating another website that is called a Para Financial Snapshot. And it's just basically a web page to kind of just promote transparency among para as well as you as members. We're going to have some good data on there and just a good overview snapshot where you can get all of the, latest and greatest of what we're doing at para and how we're protecting and making sure that our trust fund is solvent for many years to come. So we will be sharing that to our website prior to January as well. Next slide, please. Just a huge thank you. We couldn't have done this 75th anniversary celebration, of course, without Christina Gauthier, who you had the privilege of just hearing from here earlier. She has been with para for over 18 years. And so we really relied on her, as well as Vince and Leslie, who have all of this historical knowledge about para. Vince is a retired member who worked for para, I believe for, I know it was a lot of years, probably close to 20 years with para. So he was a great help to us. Felicia Lujan, who is in our state records and archives, she is our director there. And she was the host of our October Haunted History seminar, and that was a huge success. So I'm very thankful to her and bringing her positive light to the group. Karen as well had all these great ideas for our 75th anniversary. And so she was someone we definitely looked to kind of just make it fun. Like I mentioned, Leslie Miller, who's in our Rio team, she had so much historical knowledge and some great ideas as well. Greg as well, even though I know he's been with para, I believe Greg, I think close to 15 years, maybe around that area. But
9 in September.
Okay, so 9 years in September. So Greg was someone to, even though he's been with para just, for 9 years, he definitely had a lot of good knowledge for us. Jose Trujillo, who isn't with para at the time, he went on to a wonderful job opportunity elsewhere. But he was a huge part of this 75th anniversary series. And then Anna Williams, of course, our deputy director, who you heard from earlier. She has just been great, especially when looking at all of our financial history and the past history in general. So thank you all so much. You have definitely contributed to making it successful. So we couldn't have done it without you. So thank you so much. Next slide, please. And then last but not least, I know Greg, Anna, and Christina have already said it, but, a huge thank you goes out to our staff who work daily. We never stopped during COVID and, continued to offer this amazing benefit to retired members and helped solve issues and answered questions on a daily basis to all of our active members. A huge thank you to our customer service division, who even during the pandemic showed up every single day, along with our IT employees as well. And they just made sure that everything was continuing going forward for all of us and for you all out there in New Mexico. So we couldn't do anything without you. So thank you so much. A lot of people don't, realize that even though we do work for para, a lot of us, probably the majority of us, are Native New Mexicans. And we are just like you as active members. And so our retirement means so much to us as well. So that is why we are always super dedicated to making sure that you are taken care of and you have this lifetime benefit to look forward to. Second, we'd like to thank the Board of Trustees. A lot of people don't know as well that we are governed by this board. And so we're very thankful for their support, especially in celebrating with us this year for our 75th anniversary. And then last but not least, we couldn't do anything without you as members. And so that includes active and retired members. You are, our inspiration to just making sure that everything is smooth, that, our trust fund is solvent for years to come, and that our daily operations, go successful. So we always want to make sure that you're taken care of. So if at any time, going forward to the next slide, Miss Christina, if you have any questions or concerns, or you just want to come in and say hi, we would love to see you. We have 2 offices, one in Santa Fe and one in Albuquerque. You can always, mail anything to us. You can give us a call. You can email us. You can definitely fax information to us. During COVID, it was a little hard for people to drop off anything. And so we've kind of gone forward with our technology. So you can send anything over email or fax. But if you love, if you miss seeing people and talking to people like us who are extroverts, we would love to see you out on the road when we're providing seminars, or we would love to see you in our 2 offices. We offer monthly webinars all the time, so please join us if you ever want to learn more about your para account going forward. With that being said, we thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you all in 2023. And I will leave it open if anybody wants to say anything. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here with all of us. We appreciate you.
Nothing from me, but thank you all. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Great. With that being said, everyone have a wonderful holiday. And like Greg said, a wonderful and an even better new year. And thank you so much. We appreciate you.